So welcome to another video. Today we're going to talk about a pretty big issue. Well, one that seems to be bubbling under the surface. We're going to talk about pen and ink skins because some people are not happy about these cel-shaded or these pen ink skins. So we're going to look at some of the replies on Fortnite's own Twitter post to try and get under the surface with what the community is thinking about this issue. So if you end up enjoying this video or you want to support the channel, support the video to get more viewers, make sure to hit that like button, and at the end of the video, if you feel like commenting, letting your thoughts be known, comment down below. F and Assist says thank you for Lelena and Bucky, but why pen ink on first release? At least make it a toggable style. Some of the comments on him honestly went from an instant cop to an instant skip. We don't want these ugly ass pen skins. Spoiler alert, these guys will be next. Honestly, I must be different. I actually looked at this skin and instantly just went, wow, this is so cool. I think this style was sick. I mean, sometimes it doesn't work on skins, to be fair. I've looked at some pen and ink skins and gone, I don't know if I like that. Same. But with this one, it was very different. It was an instant like, oh, I'm actually considering getting these. But it seems to be very different here. And to be fair, as much as I can argue that these cel-shaded skins are good, if there isn't like a similar looking skin, which we'll get into later about the Deadpool skins, why can't we have a toggable cel-shading on and off option? He's got a point. Do you think you know how to give us a collab without ruining it with cel-shading? So I can't believe how many people hate cel-shading. So I asked on my YouTube channel, which apparently is still alive, I went, what are your thoughts on pen and ink skins? It feels like the community isn't exactly thrilled about them. But why do you think that is? Is it the art style? Or do you think it just doesn't hit the mark like how they appear in film? Like they would prefer Bucky and Lelena to be in their film version? I'm curious, do you like them, hate them, or feel completely indifferent? What do you guys think? Next it says, which I don't know if he's like just learnt that there is a hate for these skins, or he's like, so I don't know. Nexus, if you want to better illustrate what you say, please let me know in the comments down below. Sergeant Tank says, Deadpool and Wolverine made sense, so people could buy them since they were locked into a battle pass, and those two are okay. And yeah, obviously, as we know, Deadpool and Wolverine did get styles, which I don't know if I've got them. So here's a point. I don't know if I got them. No, I haven't got them. That's not because I don't like them. That's because I didn't have the money at the time. Obviously, are they in the shop at the moment? I feel like they were in the shop a little while ago, so... But I saw when the Deadpool and Wolverine skins did come out, and it was the same issue as it is now, as it was then, that some people didn't like them because they were cel-shaded, and they were arguing, why can't we just have them normal? I just saw there was a Reddit post on Fortnite BR 9 months ago. Of course, the main argument back then being that Deadpool was already a skin in game, so to introduce another Deadpool skin for the movie that came out around the same time, it had to be cel-shaded, which even as an original Deadpool owner, seemed a bit silly at the time. I felt like there was enough difference in the skin. But yeah, I get why they didn't, but it would have been nice to have. Referencing the other skin that was already in a battle pass, which people put down to the main reason why this was cel-shaded and didn't have an option to change it. They could technically update these skins to have the options, couldn't they? Yeah, they've done it before. I don't know if they've still done it by now. I'm trying to check. This is how I come across this post. I think it's awesome. I kind of dig the cel-shading for comic book characters. I know it's not for everyone, but I actually prefer the cel-shading. Okay, we're getting a very different response on this one. The cel-shading outs me off buying it because it doesn't blend. Oh, and that is a lot of what I see. It doesn't blend with a lot of... it doesn't blend in and it pops out. I see a lot of people saying that, but what I see a lot of people also saying about not blending in, it doesn't blend in with like bat blings and other stuff in Fortnite because they're completely different. They're completely different colors. So when you're trying to match with a bat bling or a cape or a pickaxe, it just looks very weird because of the cel-shading. Like there's even YouTube videos by this guy called ReFortniter, even showing the example without the cel-shading. Okay, is this meant to be the one with off? Because obviously, because of this shading, it doesn't look like it still has cel-shading. Honestly, I prefer... Is this the cel-shading one? Honestly, I might have some bias here, but again, I would go shell shading on that one. But obviously, this is a fan concept, so Fortnite could probably come up with something looking a little bit more. But who knows? Arrow on, mask off, so it doesn't have a shell shading off style. So they still haven't introduced it, and yeah, people still apparently hate it. Scale says, I'm not against them at all. I think they're great. They're unique. The art style. I guess my only thing, and a lot of people's things, is them appearing somewhat bright from afar. Yeah, we're obviously just discussing that, making them not ideal choice in a more competitive scenario, which is fair. That's fair. And reply. Also, the fact they don't really mash well with any cosmetics, which we just discussed as well, don't share the art style, is a valid criticism too, which I actually do agree with. So unless they completely go, imagine Fortnite turns around and goes, we're not giving you an option to take them, turn them off. What we're going to do instead is give every single cosmetic cel shading. Oh, that would be crazy. Looks like Fortnite team saw the Marvel skins compared to rivals and stepped up their game. I don't think so on me, to be fair. I feel like they've already had enough Marvel skins, and it's a very different style. It's more of a comic book feel, yes, but still, we've had comic book Marvel characters before. And people haven't liked them. Even without shell shading, like Shang-Chi, people did not like that one. Luna says, I get Deadpool and Wolverine because they're already versions of them, so this made them stand out. So I guess Battle Pass owners didn't get annoyed. Now, Fortnite brought a similar Deadpool skin in. But for these two, now, give me the non-shell shaded or add that as an option like they did with the Adventure Time skins. Now, I'm silly. I didn't get the Adventure Time skins, obviously. Have they already gone out of rotation? Fair play. Oh, wait, no, I did. I can't. What? Maybe it's better. But oh my god! Wait. Oh wait, now I can see it. Now I can see it. Oh my god, I can see it. Yeah, on the face. Okay, that is a small detail. Oh my god, that is such a small detail. But fair. I guess fair. Yeah, we had some people in the Discord say, someone said I don't really care, which is a fair point. Worthy said, I like them for one reason, they got Deadpool and my username used to be Deadpool. Obviously, it's a very personal opinion that is, which is, again, fair enough. But a lot of people in my community didn't seem to care, which makes the Nexus comment make a bit more sense. On Twitter, Tristy Chase says, I think people are upset because we don't have either character already in the game. I personally love the pen and ink look, but I prefer to get them for characters who already have the skin, like Cap, Spidey, Iron Man, Thor, etc. Valid shout. Rembrandt also says, at least a selectable style, which we've already discussed yet. And probably to my point about making every single cosmetic just the pen and ink style. No, I think that's too much to ask for. That's me joking, just in case people think I'm being serious. Again, objectively, I would honestly say that I see no issues with the pen and ink skin myself, but I can quite rightly understand why people would have a problem with them because of other skins now in the game, like Deadpool and Wolverine. So I guess it has a negative connotation for those of you who didn't get the original Deadpool skin. So I guess when you see more shell shading skins in the game, it rubs you up the wrong way, I suppose. So in your head, the only reason we have the shell-shaded Wolverine and Deadpool skin without the option is because of the original in the Chapter 2 Season 2 Battle Pass. So I had to apologise. This Fortnite Ricky site is disgusting. I hate having to make videos about it because it's just everything's everywhere in it. It's not great. So we got the Invincible skins. I don't think there was much. It works for the Invincible. See, maybe this is where Fortnite needs to see. Look at this mess. Maybe this is where Fortnite needs to be smart, and that makes perfect sense. I feel for Invincible, it makes perfect sense. There's a comic book first, and the show makes it look like it's got shell shading. So why not shell shade it? Makes perfect sense. And for others, I guess other collabs where their comic book do shell shading. Most people's first experience of seeing Marvel is on the film. So when they see a comic book character and they see it shell shaded, I guess it's a little off-putting because again they wanted Liana. I cannot say that name. I'm struggling to say that name. When they see Bucky and stuff from the film, they want to see Sebastian. They don't want to see this shell shaded comic book knockoff, which sounds a bit weird saying a knockoff for a comic book, but maybe that's it. And that is the issue now. This is all the shell shaded skins in the game. Gwenpool, I don't think there was much hate for that. Oh no, I did hear a bit about, I guess, this season's Battle Pass skin. I guess it would be here somewhere. Oh, it is. There we go. Josh. There was a bit of hate. So here's Joe's, who also I don't believe has a start off version, but has shade and tune, outlined gradients, and of course just a gradient. Now I try to match her with this backbling from one of the Chaos Agents, might be even the other one, the more later version one. But obviously here, pretty good with this one. I believe she's on gradient. On outline gradient, it looks a little more unnatural. So yeah, it's very much harder to get these to match. Although with some skins you can realize that won't be the case, regardless. Like that's also very hard to do normally with normal Fortnite skins. So say if you had a skin that wore a black top, as this one does, as you can see, the black is a different color. It's more of a gray, and that's a black. So it's very hard to match things anyway. Like this is actually a blue. Oh my god, this is a blue. So, and this is cartoony, I suppose, as well. See, it's a completely different color, black. So yeah, generally it's actually very hard to get these to match. But yeah, that's the main point I've heard about these toon skins, these ink and paint skins. It is a struggle to get these to mix and match if you're trying to go for outfits. So why would you buy this? Why would you buy any sort of cosmetics, regardless whether it's an outfit, a bat bling, a pickaxe, when it just doesn't really match with anything that is already built to the Fortnite formula? These skins, no matter how weird or wonderful they look, they still have this very distinct Fortnite art style, which these toon shade, ink shade skins don't really match. Of course, they stand out in POIs a lot because, you know, they're different to even the color of walls. Like even the Fortnite characters match the Fortnite POIs, the atmosphere, the ambiance. Apart from if you're like, I guess the only time that hasn't been the case would have been, oh my god, Bandit, would be this guy who still looks like a Fortnite skin, but obviously that POI was a stylized POI, wasn't it? The Borderlands POI. So I guess they would fit in almost well in that POI. But yeah, in general, they stick out, they don't match well. So I do get, with the whole TV show to film to comic book, I think the perfect example is Walking Dead. I think everyone would have wanted this character as this TV version. Of course, if you take another dip over to Reddit, Fortnite Reddit user for DM says, Jeffrey Dean Morgan says he's fine with his likeness or show version being used in Fortnite. But currently, there's no reason that they can't add it later, or even with the two characters they already had in, can't add the comic book versions of them in the game now. So vice versa swap. So the next one they will add Jeffrey Morgan's version of the character, his likeness, and then add the comic book characters of the two other characters that have the TV show likeness. But let me know down in the comments what you think about the pen ink style we have in Fortnite. Do you think there's a place for it, or do you think Fortnite should get rid of it? Do you just think they should add a toggable thing where you can turn it on and off and make them more Fortnite style skins? But guys, if you did enjoy this one, leave a like, subscribe, leave a like, subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's next time. It has been your boy, Mr. JLY. It's next time. Bye bye.